Hey y'all!
And welcome back to an extra special episode of the SJPL Podcast.
We're back.
We're going to be doing, we told you we were going to be experimenting and trying new things. So we're going to do that on these mid-month episodes.
Super fun.
And our very first super fun episode, we have brought on the most special guest we could find.
A celebrity.
A celebrity among the St. Joseph community.
Kim Kardashian.
She didn't respond to our emails.
So we got the runner-up, and it's Sara.
Hey,
Sarah.
How's it going, guys?
It's going. How are you?
I'm good. I'm at work. I made it.
You're doing it.
I'm doing it.
You're doing it, and we're proud.
Yay!
It was a struggle to get Sarah here.
I
Sarah-
fought them the whole way.
She did, and so that's okay. Jacob and I are very much...
Very persistent people.
We don't take no very well, and we just want Sarah to come out of her shell.
I am happy as a turtle in my shell.
I know, but look how you're thriving right
I
now.
am thriving.
I know.
These two help me a lot.
So, a little about Sarah.
Yeah, Sarah has been here longer than
Than
either of us.
Both of us combined.
Oh my god! I
true, Sarah?
started. Yeah, I started as a page, which neither of you worked that position. It's the
No.
best position, but I started as a page. It's the best position, guys. You got to
It
shelf books.
is.
You don't talk
It's
to people.
relaxing.
It's great.
It is great.
But I started back in June of 2008.
See?
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah.
I
I did
was
take a
rocking
s-
8th grade at that time.
Oh my gosh. oh dear.
So, Sarah's been here a long time. Sarah does all kinds of things. You are the page manager.
I order graphic novels.
Yeah, she went from the page to the page master.
Yes, page,
Oh
which is
my
a title I gave
goodness.
myself. That is not official in any capacity, but I tell people I am the page master.
And you use it so officially. And, like, it's even in her signature, in her emails. And it is so funny.
Oh yeah, the
And-
director and the boss have never told me I couldn't.
And the pages love her.
They do. She's a great boss.
I mean, you've had a page
Even
here
better
for how
friend.
long has one of your pages worked here?
Oh my gosh, Matt might be here 5-6 years now.
Yeah,
Yeah. Long
Yeah.
time.
because he's got a good boss to work for.
And one of my
Correct.
pages just recently got promoted to the desk.
Which is so
Yeah.
exciting. Other Sarah.
Yeah,
Sarah
other
with an
Sarah.
H.
Other Sarah.
Other Sarah. Sarah.
Yeah, Sarah.
Yes, this
You're
is
right.
Sarah without an H.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's very important. There is an H in her last name where you may not expect either.
That's true. You're not wrong. It took me a second, but you're not wrong. Like we said, Sarah orders graphic novels, right?
I do.
And that just is recent. Are you a graphic novel lover?
I am, but I don't read
Comics.
enough. I have like 15 checked out right now, and I've read one of them.
Which is so funny because I feel like that's like a common thing with library staff. You think that we just sit around and read all day, but
I
then
don't have time.
when you really ask all of us, most of us are like, yeah, I never read. We try.
Yeah.
Because we love it.
We try,
I read the least out of the three people here,
for sure.
for sure.
Oh, for sure.
But
Jacob, I know.
but I have to read other things.
Sure.
I have to
You're in
read-
school.
School things. I read the news.
Yeah.
Just not a lot of books. And I wish I could, because there's certainly a lot of books I want to read. But it's just
solely
the
from the
time.
cover, as we've discussed before in previous
The
episodes.
covers draw me in.
Jacob loves the good
Yeah.
cover.
The covers draw me in.
So Sarah, some graphic novels you've ordered recently. What are your faves?
What are you loving right now?
Oh, okay, well, yeah, you know what? Let's just start with my most favorite one. Now,
Yes.
Good cover.
I don't suggest this if you haven't heard of the band Tenacious D. I don't suggest this book to you. I really don't. This book is for only people who have heard of this band because it's not appropriate. It's not work appropriate. But this was the most hilarious book I've ever read. And in fact, actually, they sing along. If you go online, you can listen to them sing this whole book.
Oh,
It's
like
fabulous.
an audiobook version?
Yeah, I would actually call this their fourth album.
That's hilarious.
Oh, wow.
And it's Tenacious D Post-Apocalypto. You can come check that out at the library. And I would technically call this their fourth album. Number 2 was awful. 1, 3, and 4, absolutely great. But it's so, if you like them, this is absolutely hilarious.
I actually ordered that for my brother for Christmas. I sent him a picture the other day when it was returned because he loves Tenacious D. And
I was going to
like,
ask if you knew who it was.
Yeah, and my brother was like, I need that book, so I bought it for him for Christmas.
I'm so excited. I might
'Cause
get it
this
for my
is the-
dad.
Yeah, it's a good one.
They made the movie, right?
Which was terrible. Yes, Pick a Destiny, I think.
Yeah.
That was part of album 2, and that was, even Jack Black is like, no, I
Gotcha.
regret that. I regret that hard. That was a mistake. It was a bad album.
At least he acknowledges that.
He does. He does. Another new one I have, and I brought this one because, Kelsey, I think you would like this. So it's a fictionalized story, but this is about two sisters who were maids, and they grew up in like a really abused situation.
Okay.
And this was a big deal in France, like back in the 1930s, because they killed the lady, actually the wife of the house and the daughter, just because they were awful to him. And it's a really creepy story.
I love that anytime murder is involved, everyone's like, Kelsey, read
Kelsey,
it.
this is for you.
This is for you.
This one's
You've
for
made
you.
it clear that that's your interest.
I wouldn't say murder is my interest, but
Crime.
sure, that's like a better approach. But yeah, that sounds fantastic.
But yeah, this is Maids by Katie Skelly.
Okay.
And like this, I would say this story is mild to what actually happened. Like this would kind of jumpstart you to be like, oh, I must know more. And it's so much crazier than you think.
So it would send
This is
me
back in the
down-
1930s.
You said it was like a fictionalized true story?
It's a fictionalized true story. So they take the situation of these two girls becoming maids and working for these people, and they just kind of give you like what's happening for them. It gives you a little bit of a background for how they lived, which was terrible. Their parents were very awful to them. And then, yeah, they become maids when they get a little bit older, and it's just really dark. It's a very Kelsey book.
Yeah, maybe
Love
we need
it.
to bring someone a little lighter on the pod sometime because
So-
we do
to liven it up a little
we
bit.
do go dark often.
That's
We do.
okay.
And you said you had one book that we don't have access to right now. That's like your all time.
Oh, my
What is it?
all-time favorite book is They Called Us Enemies by George Takei.
Ah, yes, you have that quote up on the. You guys got to come see the graphic novels at
It
East
looks
Hills.
so good.
It's got its own whole section now of wall. It looks beautiful. Everything's on display.
It's the best
People
in the
mention
library.
it. Yeah, people mention it all the time.
Oh, wait, sorry. Kelsey got mad. YA, it's right next to YA, which is equally as amazing.
It makes
was about
YA
to
look
say-
sad.
Oh my gosh.
No, everything's beautiful.
Check yourselves. This is. I feel
But
ganged
But graphic
up on.
novels has a lot of display room.
Yeah.
YA, we have so many YA books because we need so many.
Right.
And we did
uh,
stuff it in a very small corner. I'm
yeah.
kind of spoiled with the amount of room I have.
Yeah, we have to figure out some way someday to expand YA's space because we need all the stuff that's there, but it's filling up.
My proposal is just a YA library. Mary Beth, when you listen to this, just shoot me an email with how you feel about that. I mean, yes or no.
I'd work there.
Yeah. Just all teen stuff all the time. Lots of TikToks, lots of whatever else teens like right now.
I very much hope that we get into the TikTok soon
I mean,
for the library.
I'm ready.
Kelsey's a professional. Did you not know?
Kelsey is ready.
Okay.
I'm ready. I'm ready to dance, y'all.
Kelsey's been having to post TikTok dances on Instagram.
Yeah.
So.
Because we don't have a TikTok, so I've had to convert some to Instagram worthy for the teen Instagram. You got to keep it hip over there, you know?
And you got to plug the teen Instagram. What's the teen Instagram?
The teen Instagram is. Yeah,
She uses it all the time and
I do.
definitely knows the name off the top of her head.
It is teensread.sjplmo.
Okay, so check that out. You'll see Kelsey dancing.
You'll see me dancing. You'll see me book reviewing. You'll see Josh programming. You'll see.
Oh, I bet he's got a lot of programs on there.
You'll see some of our displays.
Yeah. Displays. So yeah, that's teensread.sjplmo on Instagram.
Anyway, we totally cut Sarah off. What
You
is this
didn't let me talk
wonderful?
about this. Oh,
What's this wonderful
okay.
book,
Well,
Sarah?
we're gonna go.
I'm
See, we
really good
got
at that.
light for a second there, but we're gonna go dark again.
Yikes.
So this book, this wonderful book, and it's won many awards. This is about George Takei's time when he was 4 years old in the 1940s. We, the Americans, I think it was President Roosevelt. We had concentration camps here in America, and George was 4 years old, and this is through his eyes as a child for what he went through, what his family went through. And this lasted for years. They were ripped away from their home. And it's very heart-wrenching because at the beginning, it's almost like George and his little brother kind of thought it's a vacation. Because his parents were trying to just be strong, very stoic during this. But it just gets darker as you go through. But it's a good read because we need to know what we've done in the past and ways to kind of avoid that. Like, we need to know how we've hurt people. And we don't want to do that again. But it's a wonderful book, and it's a good book to discuss.
Yeah, that was something, the Japanese internment camps that I learned about. I feel like I was in high school when we read a YA book.
Mm-hmm.
That was, and I cannot remember the name of it, but it was a similar story of a young child, maybe a teenager, that was at the camps. I cannot remember the name of it at all. We'll have to look it up and find that.
I either missed the day at school or they never taught that. When I found out about this, I was like, in America?
That's the thing,
was
I don't
appalled.
remember if I don't feel like this was an assigned reading, but it was like, here's a list of books you can read, and that was just the one I chose.
Yeah.
Because I don't remember talking to anyone about it, but I do remember reading the book because there were some bad scenes in it. But your book, the George Takei book, do you remember the author? Not the author, illustrator?
I don't remember the illustrator.
But are they good illustrations?
It is. It's very good. It's very fabulous. It's not like your Sunday cartoon comics in the back of the newspaper.
Hey, those are good. All right.
They're fine.
You guys are just haters
Do you
today.
read comics, Kelsey?
Sometimes.
In the paper?
I don't know. Sometimes. Dang.
Learning all kinds of new things about people today.
Right?
Kelsey has a comic checked out right now. It's Mean Girls.
And I've had it.
Mean Girls senior year. It's a new one I bought. It looks really cute. I love the movie Mean Girls. I made Kelsey check it out.
Sarah reads about American history. I read about Mean Girls, the greatest movie ever created.
Is it a book series based on the movie?
Yes. It's like a graphic novel of the movie.
Is it just one, or is it going to be a series?
I think this is just a standalone, but a lot
Oh.
of times, like years later, they'll be like, oh, and then all of a sudden, volume 2.
Right.
Which messes with my catalog.
Because that's iconic.
Yeah. Yeah.
Very interesting.
Did you love Mean Girls?
Yeah, I love that you brought up your cataloging, Sarah. Sarah, when she took over graphic novels not that long ago, had the immense task of getting all of the catalog information fixed for every single series.
Oh my god.
Well, there's just a lot of things that just said, oh, here, we have this book. And I'm like, this is a volume 7. I need the catalog to say this. I know it's the only one in the series we have, but I need it to say it.
Sarah is also the spreadsheet queen. She has a spreadsheet for literally everything possible. And anytime I bring up something, I'm like, I'd love to do this. She's like, okay, I'll make a spreadsheet. And 10 minutes later, she emails me the biggest spreadsheet on the planet. And I'm like, how do I do this?
Does this have to do with your past employment? I don't know if you want to talk about that.
Oh, well, I did work at an accounting office for a short amount of time. And actually, no. Everything I do now is in Excel. And when I became full-time, Excel was like, oh, yeah, I know how to open that. And, you can put numbers in and make the list organize itself. Now I know how to make tables and color code, and this cell depends on this cell. But yet, no, actually, they had a paid program that you just input data into, and it was very boring and simple.
You're excelling on Excel.
Excelling!
Gives me a lot of hope because I don't know what the heck I'm doing when I open that. So
Just let me make your spreadsheets. It's
every
fun for me.
spreadsheet I have, one of you has made it for me.
Jacob made one of mine. My
Yeah.
ordering one is fabulous, and that was Jacob.
Yeah, that's the one that I
I do
used
love
too.
playing with it. I don't know how to do much, but I know how to do a couple things over and over again.
Yeah,
And they'll make anything work.
that's what matters. I don't know a darn thing.
You know how you learn? Google. Every
Sure.
time I'm like, how do I do this? I Google, how do I do this?
Yeah.
And then it tells me.
What did
Oh,
we
I have to do that a lot for
before
Excel.
Google?
Yeah. And there's one major thing that we haven't touched on yet, Sarah.
Oh, is it Pokemon Club?
Pokemon in general.
I am
Sarah
the Pokemon girl.
Ran the most popular thing that has ever happened
At the library.
the history of St. Joseph Public Library.
Probably the history of any library ever. You can quote me on that.
You ran the Pokemon Club.
I
and
did.
Are we going to see that again in the future?
I think so. As soon as we can just get because I think on your last podcast, we were anticipating that we would be in better situation. Guys,
we're
we
flip-flopping.
We're flip-flopping.
Unfortunately, that's not the case, but that's okay.
So yeah, if we ever get to like a good enough place where I feel like 50 children in one, basement of the library is acceptable, then yes. And I say 50, but it could be like 100. The first club we ever had was like 180 people, and it was so much.
Do you count the parents?
I do account the parents because some of them participate. Some of them come because they liked Pokemon and they're making their children like Pokemon.
Intergenerational bonds being forged by Sarah here.
It's pretty cute.
It's an amazing program.
It is an amazing program. It brings out big numbers, but it's also just such a good opportunity for those kids. Programs like that are so important, and
they make a lot of friends too. Like I
Right.
actually watch people make friends, and then they come. They're like, "Hey, is Ethan here?"
right.
Like, "Oh, that little boy you talked to last time." It's
Right.
like, "Oh, well, we'll find out. We'll go find him."
That makes you feel really good.
It
Like you're
does.
making a difference, which is the biggest part of our jobs, is to make a difference in this community and hopefully leave a lasting impact,
Indeed.
Well, is that everything to know about you, Sarah?
Probably
Well,
not.
You know what I love about Sarah? Where she lives.
I
Her
do
lifestyle.
love Sarah's lifestyle.
I live in Rushville
She
in a hodunk
If
farm.
you don't know where that is, it's
You
because
sounded-
she is one of very few residents.
You sounded so thrilled when you. I live in Rushville.
It's just a long drive to work, but I do love the property.
It's a cute little place.
Oh, it is. It's very nice. We've been fixing it up. Me, my husband, and my best friend, we all just kind of got this house. We've got about 6 acres. We started a really wonderful big garden, which I just destroyed over the weekend because we're going to restart it and do it somewhere else. So,
That's okay.
Did you
you
get
know.
any food out of it this year?
oh, tons. The potatoes. Potatoes
wow.
are the thing to grow.
Okay.
The carrots did poorly. Even the tomatoes did poorly. But potatoes? Oh, that's all I'm going to grow now.
I'm not gonna lie. The idea of gardening is like a nightmare
Oh, it's hard.
to me.
Anyone who says it's fun and relaxing, I think they're lying.
Right. I love the idea of it,
Oh,
but
yes.
Yeah.
it's the execution that I just can't get behind, you guys.
If you could garden at night when the sun's not beating down on you, then I would be interested.
If you could garden solely inside and it didn't involve dirt,
I just want in that
Hydroponics.
I don't want to do that either.
You could do some
That's actually very-
hydroponic vegetables.
you could. We're actually going to start a little thing of that so we
Actually-
can grow broccoli and lettuce to see how it works.
Isn't that exactly what Angela does, our other coworker?
Yeah, Angela has like a whole thing.
We'll bring Angela on here
Yeah,
at some
Angela
point
will
in
be
time.
on the
She's
pod
a
soon.
character. She has all sorts of very interesting interests.
We'll
yes,
make
I need this
sure-
explained to me.
Yeah, we'll make sure we bookmark that, whatever that word was you just said.
Hydroponics.
Hydroponics.
Hydroponic. Yeah, we'll have to ask her about that.
Okay.
But yeah, you just live out in the country. And
Lots of animals. And not farm animals, just like pets, guys. Like
That's the
I'm
best
not
part.
I don't even
well,
have
you
chickens
have farm
yet.
animals that are pets also. Maybe not right now. But
You have before, though.
I have before. We recently moved to Rushville. We were at a different farm in a different place, and the property was just very overwhelming. And honestly, we're kind of young and dumb, and we didn't know what we were doing. We lost. I'm serious. We lost some of our birds. We had ducks, and it was wonderful. But you you really got to know what you're doing or you're going to lose them to predators.
Right.
And
That was
it just
really
happens.
sad.
It was
Yeah.
awful.
That was so sad.
But we're going to try again. You know, you're only a failure if you just never try again.
You're just like throwing out the quotes today, Sarah.
It's because I tell myself these things all the time.
I know. Sarah's brain at me open right now.
And the last thing I need to bring up about Sarah
Oh, no.
for our wonderful people that listen that visit the downtown library.
Oh, yeah. I forgot. Yeah, so I have a husband. He's okay, and he works at downtown.
He's great.
And
I love
everybody,
him.
He's
I'm
okay.
obsessed.
everybody loves them.
I stalked him through high school, if you guys didn't. I have told you that, right?
I do love that story.
Yeah.
Sarah has loved Robbie since the minute she
Laid eyes on him. Literally.
Which is funny because that's literally how the rest of us feel too. We all just really love Robbie.
Oh
He's
my
just-
God. Yes.
Robbie's like a human teddy bear.
He really is.
He's the best. So yeah, if you go to the downtown branch,
He's the one that's been doing the origami
yeah,
crafts.
but make sure you say,
He wrote that poem.
"Hey, Robbie."
And he does the 3D printing down there. Oh, and he's in charge of that
Yes.
seed library, which is,
Oh yeah.
being the
Huge.
farmy type.
Yeah,
The
He's-
seed
huge
library
That's a
program.
is
big
big
deal.
in the summer.
That's a big
in
one.
the summer. Well, that about does it for introducing Sarah.
Oh my God, no more, please.
Like I said, we're just having fun on this pod, so we were brainstorming things to do, and we ran across some of those like BuzzFeed style, and some of them are from BuzzFeed, internet quizzes.
Which happens to be one of my favorite pastimes.
Yeah, I know Sarah's a little bit older than us, but me and Kelsey, like, we're just finishing high school as BuzzFeed was really coming into its own
Yeah.
on the internet, and I feel like you and I really probably spent a lot of time on.
I
Are you guys saying I'm old? I love BuzzFeed. Come on.
I know, but it wasn't in your, it was in the same time period.
Yeah, no,
of
I
our
actually
lives.
discovered BuzzFeed working here, so
Yeah.
I was well out of school.
I still spend a lot of time on BuzzFeed. Not always the most reliable journalism, but if you're just trying to pass time,
Fun quizzes. It's
highly
great.
recommend it.
Yes. Yes.
Highly recommend it.
So we're going to do a couple of quizzes here. And this first one is actually from bookriot.com, which is another really great blog. Is it a blog, really?
I think it's like an actual company like behind it.
I think it
use
might have
it.
started out that way, and then a company kind of
Yeah.
took them on.
I use it quite a bit.
Yeah, they have really great recommendations and news and all
Yeah.
kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
So we're going to take a quiz together here to find out if we're doing the right things with our lives.
Okay. I'm really nervous about this. So, okay, so Jacob's going to read the questions and the responses that you can select. Sarah and I will select on our own phones, right? And then we can share our results.
We're all going to do the quiz at the same time, and we'll talk about it as we go here.
Okay.
So the first one we're going to do is called "What career in library science would you love?"
I'm so
And
nervous.
let's hope that this is the one we have, right?
Oh, no.
I'm so nervous.
So let's go. First question. You just read a book. What's the first thing you do next? And we've got options here. Log it on Goodreads, tagging shelves and recording other relevant data points. Craft a review for your blog. Create a YouTube video or go live on social to share. Or express your feels to the next bookish friend you talk to.
So definitely that first answer is mine because I'm all about the data. So
I
I'm
was gonna say.
and that's
Do you do Goodreads?
that's actually the only thing I use, and that's what I love.
Oh, really?
Well, that and then our Beanstack, I log them on there as well. But yeah, all I do is I read them. I don't do a review. I read them and I might categorize them. But that's about it.
Jacob, how many people do you follow on Goodreads?
I believe it's one.
And guess who it is? It's me.
Why are you following me?
I didn't know you had one.
Okay, well when we're done,
I
you're
think
gonna
Kelsey
follow me.
bullied me into making one night.
I am not
just to
a
get an extra
bully.
follower.
Well,
It
I'll
is
bully you into
probably.
following me.
It is so funny when he logs in though because his whole feed is just me.
I think
Yeah.
my only follower is Kelsey.
Yeah, that one
Well,
lost
Kelsey,
me at
what do
data
you?
points.
What's your choice here? Yeah, I thought it was going to be you for Goodreads, but then it said data points.
Yeah, and I was like, no, thank you.
I don't think she's recording data.
No, thank you. I'm going to say probably express your feels to the next bookish friend you talk to. I talk to Jenny quite a bit, like when I finish a good book.
That is true. That is also what I'm going to go with because I don't do any of these other things.
Yeah.
And I do have one friend that I talk to about books.
Right. Okay.
So choose a library science course. And that's the thing that I'm doing right now. And it's can't wait to be done.
Oh, boy.
So we've got how to recommend books, social media for community engagement, creative programming for today's diverse youth, genealogy services, or advanced search strategies, how to find anything online.
Well, for me, it's probably going to be the last one for how to find anything online. I've really enjoyed when like patrons come in and they're like, hey, I have this old like couch or something, and they're like, I have the VIN number.
Yeah.
And I have to go online and like find like a build model or even a manual, and it's just fascinating to try to search for something like that.
And it feels so good when you find it and you're just like,
yeah. Oh, I will. I
am
told patrons, I'll call
a
you when I
unicorn.
find it, and give me a week and I will find something.
Yeah.
Reference obviously is much better than us, but I enjoy
Right.
it.
Yeah, reference, that's their job, but we don't have a reference desk at this library. We have to send people downtown if it's something like really specialized.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
But
so we always
we
try
love-
to field it. if
Yeah, we
can,
love
but
doing what we can.
Definitely. Well, mine is, of course, creative programming for today's diverse youth is what I would choose.
Yeah, that makes sense. I feel what I really need to work on is how to recommend books,
Yeah.
because that's probably my weakness right now. So that's what I'm going to choose.
Well, and especially if you don't read frequently. It's hard.
Yeah,
It's hard.
yeah.
Just to throw it out there that Jacob doesn't read. Again.
Okay, this next question, are you an introvert, extrovert, or ambivert?
What is
And
an
I'm gonna have to
ambivert?
go ahead
Oh my
and
god,
say,
I didn't
what's
want
an
to feel
ambivert?
stupid and ask, but yeah, what is that?
Okay, I feel better now that all of us don't know what that is.
I was gonna pretend I knew.
I always just assume I'm the like dumbest one on the podcast, so I don't have any shame in asking these questions, but it makes me feel really good about myself when you guys are all like, what is that?
And I mean, to be fair, I don't know that I need to know what it is, because I'm definitely an introvert.
I was
Like, as
gonna say.
hard as it is for you guys to get me on here,
Right.
I think you know.
If I had to guess, I would say an ambivert is the mixture of both.
I googled it. That's literally what it says.
Guys,
Wow.
context. Why did we Google? We should have just took it from context.
Because you always have to have reliable sources, Sarah. You can't assume.
This is true.
That's the number one rule of our job.
Correct.
Research, babe. Okay, I am. What am I, guys? I don't know.
I'm gonna have to guess extrovert on Kelsey.
It depends on Kelsey's mood for the day, but mostly extrovert, I would say.
Yeah.
But
For
it,
sure.
it depends on her mood. Sometimes she's, you know,
If I'm
leave me in my world.
Yeah, but if I'm an introvert, just assume I'm plotting something. So you need to interrupt me and get me out of that zone.
I would say I'm in the middle.
You are for sure.
In the middle.
What a great mix we are, you guys.
Yay!
It's like the perfect chocolate chip cookie.
And our next question here is, what's a program or event you'd love to lead?
All of it.
Outreach event, how to protect your data. Alternative to prom, cosplay costume party for teens. Book club, going beyond the bestsellers list. Networking event for local book bloggers, booktube, and hashtag bookstagrammers. Or a workshop getting started with family genealogy.
Strangely, it's probably the alternative to prom.
Yes.
I saw that for you.
I mean, you know, I'm just a little bit too nerdy, and that just.
Have you ever been a cosplayer?
I've been to plenty of those. Like,
You hire a lot of them.
I do.
We need Sarah down
We
here.
do. We need Sarah Ha down here. She loves
She
the
loves
cosplay.
the cosplay.
But I love people who do cosplay. I just don't do it myself.
That introvert in you.
Yeah.
That would be
I just like to
mine.
watch.
And I'm also probably going to take that idea and run with that.
You wanted to eat, that's the one you want to?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to say book club going beyond the bestsellers list. That sounds fun.
We love to hear it.
And next we've got Pick a Book. The Signal and the Noise by Nate Silver. So You've Been Publicly Shamed by John Ronson. The Hate You Give by Angie Thomas. The Storied Life of A.J. Fickrey by Gabrielle Zevin. Or The Library Book by Susan Orlean.
Okay.
Well, because it's on my to read list, I'm gonna put down The Hate You Give because
You
I still
haven't read
I
that
still haven't read it.
yet?
No,
Sarah,
I've seen it a lot.
I know. I have
it
like
is
15 books
so
checked out.
good.
I know, but I also don't like crying.
I know it's a sad one, but it's so good. Everyone needs to
Do you
read
remember
it.
the last time you made me read a sad book?
I know.
I was upset. I felt like I needed therapy for months after it. What was
That's
it?
what I'm
Ghost
good
Ghost
for.
Boys?
Ruining people's lives. Yeah. Ghost Boys is very sad. The Hate You Give is so good though. But also the Library book by Susan Orlean. I don't know if you read that before, but it is so good.
That's probably the one I would choose out of here.
Because it's about the library that burned down.
Yeah. And also, I don't know what several of these are.
Yeah, same.
I know
only
who Nate Silver is.
Right.
The rest of these, not. But I have heard quite a lot about the library book and would like to read that.
Mine is The Hate You Give.
Just reread it.
Again. Yeah.
So next we've got what assignment sounds most fun to you? Create a podcast series that features interviews with regular patrons.
Oh,
Why
God.
have we not thought to interview patrons?
Promote underrated books that don't circulate as much.
Oh my
Help a
gosh.
local author find research related to their book. Partner with high school libraries on joint programming. Or compile a detailed report on library usage and engagement using data and statistics.
Oh, well, it sounds like a spreadsheet down there at the bottom. I want it. I want to compile some data.
Ew. I am torn between the podcast and the high school libraries. But I'm going to have to go with the podcast because interviewing patrons sounds so fun. I would love to hear their life stories.
We have some interesting patrons.
Think about all the stories we could get.
A lot of stories.
Man.
I think it would be really fun to help someone research for their book. That sounds, I mean, you never know what, it could be a sci-fi book. It could be a YA book. And just helping them figure something out, that'd be cool. And let's see what's next. What is your superpower? Okay. Recommending books. It's like your sixth sense or something. Mad skills searching the web. You can find anything. Kids and teens love you, and all the adults are jealous.
I want
Social
to say
media.
that's mine, but no.
You get it, you live it, you love it. Or organizing information. You've never met a spreadsheet you couldn't tame.
I mean, come on.
There's
Sarah.
several. You're multifaceted. You know?
Those Pokey kids do love me.
They do love you.
I don't know that adults are jealous. No one should be jealous. Please don't do that. But yeah, no, probably the organizing information.
You are so good at that.
It's calming. I like it.
Envious.
I'm going to go with organizing information as well out of these.
Well, if anybody
Yes.
has seen my desk, y'all know that organization is not mine.
It's not that bad. It's not that bad.
Because I cleaned
Kelsey.
it yesterday.
Oh, that's why
Ask
it's not
me
that
Wednesday of next week. Okay. I don't know which one would be mine.
I feel like kids and teens love you, but
Recommending books, though. I'm pretty good at that.
you do fill up our staff recommendation table.
That's true.
bad. I have patrons that swear by your books now.
I
That's
know
true.
a lot of people do ask. Like, I have patrons that come in now and they're like, "You don't have a book on the recommendation table. What are you reading?" I'm like, "Ooh, no pressure. I'm reading nothing. That's why there's nothing on the table."
I just tell them I have a lot of things checked out, and I tell them what I checked out, but not that I didn't read it yet.
I'm like, I'm actually reading the Mean Girls graphic novel. Okay, I picked recommending books.
It's true. It's very true.
I'm good at that one.
So your friends know they can go to you if they don't know what to read next, they're unsure how to troubleshoot a tech issue, need book recommendations for their kids, seek advice on social media and dating,
Ew.
or want to better understand current event topics. I feel like I have to go with the last
The
one.
last one is definitely you. That's literally the only thing I would take your advice on is current events.
Everyone's asking me how to use the copier, how to print on cardstock.
Yeah, you're right.
I-
You're the
I-
only
I-
one that when
I
we
tr-
get new cardstock, you're like, I have to send out an email now. And I'm like, I would have just shoved it in there and
Just
hoped
buy
for the
me the
best.
same cardstock.
I would have shoved it in and said, hopefully that works.
But yeah, I'm gonna be the one that troubleshoots that tech issue.
Mine is probably, I don't know. Don't know what to read next or recommendations for their kids.
I wouldn't say so much kids.
No, and I don't read to my own kids.
They read themselves.
They do, except for Hadley.
The older ones read to her.
She will soon. Ooh.
Okay. Oh, I think this is the last question. It says pick a badass.
Can we say
And
that?
we've got,
Do we have to beep it?
we'll find out.
All right.
Lee Bardugo, Hermione Granger, Lisbeth Salander, Rupi Kaur, or Oprah.
Definitely Hermione.
I was going to say I'm Hermione as well.
I am not sure who Lee Bardugo is.
She's a YA author. She does have at least one adult
Is
book.
Rupi the poet?
Yeah, Rupi's the poet.
I'm very interested why Oprah is on this list.
Oprah seems like a wild
I mean, she's
card.
got a magazine.
Sure. Oh, she has that book club.
Oprah's Book Club.
There we go.
She has had some great picks on Oprah's Book Club. I will give it to her.
She does.
I'm going to choose Oprah. What
Yay.
are you doing?
I'm doing
Sarah?
Hermione, of course.
Ugh.
Guys, my results just disappeared, but I know what they said.
Oh, wow. Okay, I got reference librarian.
I got information scientist.
Guys,
Oh,
guess
wow.
what?
That sounds fun.
Guess what mine was?
What?
Youth librarian.
Perfect.
Oh my gosh.
Well, that wasn't too crazy.
No. Yeah, I'm not having like
and
a
that
crisis.
was not a
So that's good. I'm not spiraling.
information scientist, huh?
Yeah. Oh, mine it went away.
Did it
I
tell
know,
you?
mine went away too.
Oh, that's
No, it went away. Sorry.
I can see that for you, though. You really like the behind the scenes work,
I love data. I
putting
really
things
do.
together that way.
Yeah.
I like to see how things work on a chart.
Right.
Well, let's see.
What's next, Jacob?
Should we do one more quiz?
Yeah, let's do
Okay.
a real quick one.
Should we do ultimate library trivia?
Yeah.
Or okay.
Let's see what
Let's
we
see
know.
let's see if we know what we're supposed to know.
Oh,
Okay.
no.
We'll go through this one quickly.
How do you start it? Oh, here we go.
Do you have it, Sarah?
Oh my. Okay, first question.
I'm getting there.
Okay, I'll go ahead and ask it. You catch up. The library company, America's first successful lending library, was founded in November 1731 by whom? Ben Franklin, Abigail Adams, Alexander Hamilton, or Thomas Jefferson?
Oh my
Okay,
God. I should-
anybody know this?
What do you got, Sarah, Kelsey? Anybody?
I'm going with Abigail because I want it to be a female, and I was wrong.
I'm gonna go. It's either got to be Ben Franklin or Thomas
I
Jefferson.
was going to go with Thomas Jefferson.
Because Ben Franklin's the whole public library thing.
Yeah,
But Thomas Jefferson had a library that turned into the Library of Congress.
exactly.
You guys thought this through better than I
Dang
did.
it.
I'm gonna go with Thomas Jefferson.
Well, you're going to be wrong.
Oh,
It was Ben
I
Franklin.
knew Ben Franklin loved the public libraries.
Okay. The Library of Alexandria was located in what is now which country? Syria, Egypt, Greece, or Italy?
Any thoughts?
It's either Egypt or Greece. I really don't think it's the other two.
It's
I'm
I
gonna
took-
say.
I said
I'm
Greece.
gonna say Syria.
I'm gonna,
Oh, Egypt.
Man.
It was in Egypt. Everybody.
well, see, and I knew it was something I had learned back in Latin
Back in
class
the day.
a decade or more ago.
All right. What is the name of the librarian who helps Matilda?
Miss Honey.
No.
It's not Miss Honey?
We've got Miss Honey, Mrs. Phelps, Miss Trunchbull, and Miss Thrip. And I know it's not Miss Trunchbull because
No, because that's the bad lady.
Miss Honey is her teacher.
And Miss
who
Honey's her
adopts
teacher.
her.
Oh, that's
I'm
the-
gonna go with Thrip
I
because
think
it
it's
sounds fun.
Phelps.
Well, I was wrong.
Thrip sounds fun. Oh,
It's Phelps. I was right. That's like the one. I've
Everyone
got.
just listen to Kelsey.
I do love Matilda. Okay, which philanthropist donated over $50 million to create libraries?
we've got Andrew Carnegie, John D. Rockefeller, Henry Ford, or Oprah Winfrey.
It's got to be Carnegie.
I hope.
Surely,
Woo!
right? Andrew Carnegie.
Yeah.
There we go.
We got money for Carnegie Library and Washington Park Library from the Carnegie Foundation.
Oh, I didn't know that.
They built our buildings.
Cool. All right, which sage librarian helped Buffy in the TV series Buffy the Vampire Slayer?
I've never,
Never
watched
seen
the.
it.
No.
Me either.
And we've got Sutcliffe, Randall, Giles, and Summers.
I'm gonna go with Sutcliffe.
I'm
'cause
gonna go with
that's-
Giles.
I'm pretty sure
Crazy.
it's Giles.
Ooh. Oh.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. I've seen an episode. One
And-
single episode.
And
And it
episode.
paid off.
Nice.
And they went to the library.
All right. Which TV character said, "You want weapons? We're in a library. Books are the best weapon in the world. This room's the greatest arsenal we could have. Arm yourself." Is it Rory Gilmore from Gilmore Girls, Samuel Tarly from Game of Thrones, Sherlock Holmes from Sherlock, or Doctor Who from Doctor Who?
I'm going to have to go with Doctor Who because it just sounds like the kind of thing.
Yeah, see, but I've heard
British
this
things
quote
are like
before.
I'm
and so I don't
hoping-
think it's Doctor Who because I've never watched a single episode.
I've never watched Doctor Who. The only show I've ever watched on here is Gilmore Girls. Naturally.
I'm saying Doctor Who. Ooh.
I'm gonna go with Sherlock, I think. Oh my god, how is it Doctor Who?
It
I've
was
never
Doctor
watched
Who.
Doctor Who,
Doctor
not
Who.
once.
I think it's just one of those famous quotes.
I
Right.
guess.
Which of these people did not work as a librarian? Pope Francis, J. Edgar Hoover, Lewis Carroll, or Madeline? How do you say her last name?
Longo.
Longo. Longe.
I know J. Edgar Hoover was a librarian.
Was Pope Francis?
Is that the current Pope?
I don't know.
Lewis Carroll's obviously an author.
I'm going with Lewis. Oh,
I'm gonna go with Pope.
I feel like Madeline.
it's the Pope.
Oh.
It's the Pope.
This famous singer has donated time and money to partner with libraries and encourage childhood literacy. Madonna, Cher, Dolly Parton, or Beyonce? I know this one.
Everyone's been talking about Dolly Parton recently, about all of her philanthropic gestures. And so I'm just going to go with her.
That sounds right. Let's do that.
It's Dolly, y'all.
Nice.
I actually knew that
She's
one.
always doing things.
She
that are
has like a book
amazing.
program for kids that she just sends you a free book every month. I can't remember what it's called, but like only certain states. I don't think Missouri qualifies, or like I know St. Joe doesn't because I've tried to sign my kids up, but
Dang it.
I know.
Interesting.
All right. Which first lady earned a Master of Library Science degree? Laura Bush, Michelle Obama, Rosalind Carter, or Eleanor Roosevelt?
That's interesting. Because I feel like I would know it if it was Laura Bush because she was the president's wife when I was alive.
Yeah. Same
But-
with Michelle. Michelle's. That's.
I
not-
feel like Michelle definitely doesn't, right? She
I
was a
don't
lawyer.
think so.
And Eleanor Roosevelt, I don't see having a.
So we'll
So
go
I
with
feel
Carter.
like Rosalind Carter.
Oh my
or
gosh.
Is it?
It's
It was
It's
Laura
it's
Bush.
Laura Bush.
It seemed,
Weird.
there was
You,
something
you
there
feel like you would have heard it.
that made you feel like maybe that was it. But
Interesting. All right. The Library of Congress is located in which city? Philadelphia, New York City, Boston, or Washington, D.C.?
Kelsey,
I want to.
the Library of Congress.
Oh, so it has to be Washington, D.C., right?
You,
I'm scared to be wrong.
Use those context clues that I clearly was not using. All right. The New York Public Library famously has statues of this creature outside its front steps. I know this one.
Oh my gosh, this is the first
it's
one I know.
Minotaurs, rabbits, lions, or horses. And everyone knows 3, 2, 1.
Lions!
Wow.
Who plays Tammy 2, Ron Swanson's ex-wife, in Parks and Recreation?
Lucy Lawless, Jenny Slate, Patricia Clarkson, or Megan Mullally. I believe her name is Megan Mullally, even though they are married in real life.
Correct.
I think so because I can
Yeah.
picture her.
Yeah.
Yep,
that's
it
who
was
is.
Megan
Oh,
Mullally.
perfect.
That episode that takes place in the library is so
Well, I knew it wasn't
funny.
Jenny because that was the one that's
Yeah.
money, please.
Money, please. when Amy Poehler like knocks over Megan in the episode when they're at the library, and she's like, she calls her a bad word. She calls it punk A book jockeys. That's what she calls librarians.
They're so mean to libraries in that show.
It's so funny.
Oh man, I can't pronounce these words. The what?
I wanted to say
Bodleian?
Bodleian, but I think it's Bodleian.
Bodleian. Oh, I said it right, you guys.
Nice.
The Bodleian Library is associated with which university? Harvard, University of Oxford, Yale, or University of Cambridge?
Never heard of it before. Let's take a random guess.
I'm going to go with Oxford.
I was going with Oxford too.
I was gonna go
Yeah.
Cambridge.
Just
you
like
were guys right.
the nicest one.
Nice.
I got 7 out of 13.
I got 8 out of 13.
I also got 8 out of 13. What? Okay, that wasn't that
I
bad.
told you I'm the dumbest on the podcast. At least
Well,
I'm
I mean, that's why
self-aware.
we're librarians, though. It's not. It doesn't mean that we know everything. It means that we can find the right answer.
And we're willing to learn.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, guys, this has been fun.
Yeah, we had some more stuff to do, but
We talked about Sarah.
we
too
talked
much.
about Sarah for so long because there's so much interesting about her.
Oh my God.
So
guys,
we're excited to continue, introducing new people
Yeah.
and introducing new concepts. We're going to do different things on these mid-month episodes. Maybe a book club someday.
If we can ever agree on a book to read.
It's difficult for Kelsey and I to come to agreement on a book.
I've watched the actual battle.
We've got Harry Potter Volume 1. That's about all
That's the only book we have in common at the moment.
I mean, I could give you a graphic novel. You can read it in a day.
Maybe.
Oh, let's book club Mean Girls.
Maybe.
No?
Maybe.
All right.
But it has been wonderful getting together and making this podcast for everybody out there.
We hope you like it.
And we will see you again at the beginning of next month. Thank you so much, Sarah,
Thanks, Sarah.
for coming
Yay.
on
You
with us
did
today.
it.
I did it.
Good work.
Never
Oh.
again.
She'll be back.
I will. They'll bully me on here.
We
She'll be
will.
That's what best friends do.
That's what friends are for.